Disability Support Programs and Services, or DSPS, offers a variety of classes and services designated to support the success of students with disabilities in reaching their educational goals. In 1973, students with disabilities in higher education received the support of Section 504 of the Rehabilitation Act. This legislation helped to establish services and programs for students with disabilities by placing the responsibility of access to higher education on public institutions which receive federal funds. In July of 1990, the disability movement in the United States picked up momentum with the passage of the Americans with Disabilities Act, or ADA. Part of the ADA requires that colleges and universities provide access for students with disabilities. Another important law governing services to students with disabilities in education is the Family Education Rights and Privacy Act, or FERPA. This federal law protects the privacy of student education records. This legislation is quite different from the law that covers K-12 education. This can be an adjustment for both students and parents transitioning to the adult education system. Some of the important differences in these systems include DSPS services in adult continuing education are confidential and voluntary. Parents no longer have the automatic right to their child's academic records. Students are responsible for requesting the accommodations that they are entitled to. A disability does not exempt students from being accountable for their behavior or from following the code of conduct.
It helps me to come here and do this because I get to use my brain here. Because if I wasn't coming here, I would just be staying home and just vegging out in front of the TV, and that doesn't help at all.
DSPS is a confidential, no-cost service that offers students ages 18 years or older specialized support services, equipment, and classes. DSPS provides a wide range of services and specialized instruction to students with verifiable disabilities. These disabilities include, but are not limited to, visual impairment, hearing impairment, mobility impairment, acquired brain injury, psychological impairment, learning disabilities, and developmental disabilities, and many others. DSPS services are divided into two categories: support to students in mainstream classes, and special classes and services only for students with disabilities. It is the role of the DSPS counselor to determine the eligibility of each student and to develop an educational plan with that student. The services, or accommodations, must be based on the educational limitations of the disability. Some examples of accommodations include education and disability counseling, interpreting services for students with hearing impairments, specialized equipment, access technology, adapted workstations, enlarged print, audiobooks, modified testing environment, learning disability assessment, referral to community resources, and communication with instructors on learning needs. To make accommodations successful requires good communication and collaboration between the instructor, the student, and the DSPS counselor.
To be able to come onto the campus and be able to speak with the counselor in complete confidence in terms of knowing that everything spoken will be confidential and it's up to me as to what I disclose, either to students or teachers. Just to know that there is a bit of a support system that is compassionate towards my specific situation.
According to the National Institutes of Health, a learning disability is a disorder that affects people's ability to either interpret what they see and hear or to link information from different parts of the brain. These limitations can show up in many ways: as specific difficulties with spoken and written language, coordination, or attention. Such difficulties extend to schoolwork and can impede learning to read, write, or do math. Some students are identified as having a learning disability as children, but a significant number of students are not identified with a learning disability until they reach adult education level.
I had never went to school. I seen everyone else going to school and I couldn't go to school. And I used to cry because I couldn't go to school. And my grandmother used to tell me, Millie, one day you'll get to go to school. And she didn't know when and I didn't either. But now I'm going and I'm enjoying every minute of it.
DSPS has learning disability specialists and counselors available to assess students for a learning disability. In addition to testing for a learning disability, DSPS has specialized groups and classes taught by teachers with expertise in learning challenges. The DSPS counselor can also provide special supports to help students learn better, called accommodations. Examples of these supports or accommodations include extra time on tests, text and audio format like MP3, note-taking assistance, tape recorders for lectures, and computer technology assistance. The learning disability specialists and DSPS counselors are available to you by referral from the campus counselor.
The people here are really nice, and they really do care about helping you. And just give yourself a chance. Don't, just because you have a disability doesn't mean that you cannot accomplish things.
Various disabilities create the need for testing modifications. DSPS will assist with this. For example, a student with a visual impairment may need tests on tape and extra time. Mental illness, such as depression or anxiety, may slow thinking and cause attention problems. Students may benefit from extra time and a private room when testing. CE offers a number of vocational certification training programs that require the student to pass a timed, standardized test. Some examples include Certified Nursing Assistant, A+ certification, and the GED. Students with disabilities may need specific testing accommodations. This process of getting accommodations on tests with outside entities can be lengthy and challenging, but DSPS is here to help. Students must request this service and give at least 2 months' notice in order to allow DSPS adequate time.
I really like coming to this program because I've made a lot of friends here. They're good friends.
I've made good friendships with all the students in the class. Everybody's nice and understanding, and I feel comfortable with them.
In addition to services, DSPS also offers a variety of specialized programs and classes. One of the largest specialized programs is the Brain Injury Program offered through Mesa College, ECC, and the West City campus in Point Loma. These programs serve people who have had traumatic brain injuries, strokes, and other acquired brain injuries. Some of the groups offered in these classes are Memory Strategies, Communication Group, Anger Management, Personal Awareness, and Brain Group.
And before I came here, I thought I would never be able to communicate with people again. And as proof I was wrong, Sean's here. I get to read what everybody says. It's not as good as hearing, but it's helping.
Other DSPS classes are adaptive arts, adaptive yoga and swimming, basic education, and occupational opportunities, which is a class to help students explore career choices and prepare for a job search.
It has shown me that I'm not the only one who has this head injury problem, and that there are things that I can do.
DSPS does not provide disability diagnosis, assistance with personal care, financial assistance, case management, personal items such as glasses or hearing aids, or tutoring. However, DSPS does provide referral to resources in the community for many of these services. Students with disabilities enrolled in continuing education classes are subject to the same rules and regulations as other students, and are subject to the same disciplinary action and administrative procedures as any other student.
The whole world opened up for me, because at first it didn't.
If you are interested in DSPS, contact your instructor, counselor, or contact a DSPS counselor at their campus directly.